let's talk about Build a Better World using Tesla Motors as an example. Electric cars are here. And you may remember in 2008, 2007, gas prices were $4 a gallon. And there was talk of Tesla Motors. It was when it had, I think, the Roadster, or it was releasing the Roadster. And it's one of those things where we've heard about it, but we haven't seen it. And GM, the reason why I will never do business with GM ever, is because they had an electric car before, but they got rid of it. In fact, if you watch the documentary, and by the way, I recommend that you do. It's a very good documentary. I'll actually shoot a film review on it because I think it's a really good one. Who killed the electric car? I don't agree with the conspiracy theories, but the point is GM betrayed its consumers. You don't do business with companies betray you. Tesla is an example of a car company that is trying to solve a problem. The problem was gas prices at $4 a gallon. It really hurt. Even though gas prices have fallen, it doesn't matter. And well, I'll show you in a second why you don't want to do business with oil companies, because they hate you. Oil companies, and I'm a Texan. Oil companies hate you. Listen to a Texan. 20% of Texas is oil, right? We know oil. Oil companies hate you. I'm telling you that as your Texas friend, right? They want to destroy you and take all of your money. So you do not want to do business with oil companies in the long run. Said by a Texan. All right, let's see why the electric cars are awesome and why Tesla is awesome. First of all, Tesla started smart. They targeted the rich. I'll get into that in a second. And they targeted people who worry about how their cars looked. Fact is an electric car that looks kind of, that doesn't look very good is going to not sell very much. It's just not. That's they're concerned about how their cars look. That's really what it is. And what I mean by that is that Tesla knew that you can't really experiment with electric cars if people are worried that their car stands out in a bad way. To be fair, that's very true in America, unless your test market is Europeans. The reason why targeting the rich is a good move, that's actually how electricity got started. Electricity at one time was only affordable by the rich. There's a TED Talk by Bill Gates. I really recommend it, and he talks about the cost of electricity and how it's fallen. I'll get into that in a second. I'm going to show you a graph that's similar to the one that he used. But the point is the rich are kind of like this experimental group. You test it on them because they'll spend the money to test. They don't know. It's like mini discs and stuff, right? They'll go blow money on stuff because they just have money in their pocket, and you kind of test it, and if it works, then you figure out how to optimize it and make it affordable for everyone. Right? So essentially, and if you've read Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell, you'll know he mentions this, the rich 1% are kind of like a guinea pig group of you test products on them, and if it works, then you optimize it for everyone else. If it doesn't work, then it's not going to work on everyone else, right? So there's no point of optimizing it. Okay? Electric energy producing stocks may be at historic lows. They may be, maybe not, right? As they become more popular, electricity demand is going to go up. Tesla is wanting to bring electricity, batteries or electricity installments for homes where you can store energy, storage units. You can see these. Here's why I'm skeptical on this part. And the reason why is, 5 years ago or 4 years ago, Bloom Energy claimed that they were going to have these Bloom boxes for homes and you could power your whole home. And it was like, a year or two away from being a reality. Haven't seen those recently. So when Tesla talks about how they want to help homes produce their own energy or store their own energy, I'm excited about that prospect, but I'm a little skeptical that that's actually going to happen. Either way, with electric cars starting to hit the road, what you're going to see is a focus on increased energy output and optimizing energy. Now, here's why you want to do business with electric companies and not oil companies. Remember I said your Texas friend here is telling you oil companies hate you. This graph is a good example of why oil companies hate you. This is the historic non-industrial, at least it implies that, price cents per kilowatt hour of electricity. Now, do you see what's happening to the purple line starting back at 1910 or 1905, whatever? I mean, look at it. It's like drops. What do you think the price of oil looks like? It probably starts like way down here and way up here, right? So again, your Texas friend here is telling you that electric companies are always trying to optimize. You can see they're innovating like crazy. This is what innovation looks like in terms of cost. It's decreasing. But your standard of living is staying the same, right? You're able to get more and more energy you can use to power your home, but the costs are going down. This is good. This is why an electric car, there may come a point where it's going to be close to this line here. And they're still making money. Think about it. If you were to get electricity for free and you charge a cent per kilowatt hour, just 1 cent, you're still making a profit. And the people, it's a reduced cost for them too. So this is the very opposite. By the way, this black line appears to be demand. This is the very opposite of what you see with oil companies, right? Oil companies is the price just keeps going through the roof because they hate you. They want to take your money. That's the point. They don't know that what's good for the consumer is good for their company. Electric companies get that, right? So the idea is that this is why electric cars are going to have a huge impact, because electricity is getting cheaper and cheaper, and in the future it may be even cheaper. In the long run, you can't trust oil companies. They're going to betray you. They're going to sell you out for money. Okay, again, your Texas friend is going to say this. You don't want to do business with oil companies. So Tesla Motors has a car in the works that is supposed to be a $30,000 model. I think we'll get other models. I'm not going to do any business with GM. GM has permanently lost my business because, of course, they had electric cars and they chose to shut it down. They may bring it back, but they had already shut it down. So they can do business with China. China will do business with them. Otherwise, this is a perfect example of a car company and a company that is improving our standard of living by using electricity, which we have done a very good job in our history of optimizing, as you can see by the electricity cost.